Welcome to the FastRead podcast. Today is Thursday, June 18th, 2026. Here are your top ALPA and industry headlines. After 10 months of contract negotiations, Flair Airlines pilots have reached a tentative agreement with management. The MEC officers voted unanimously to send the agreement to Flair pilots for review and a vote. The 3-year TA reflects progress on several key priorities, including improved compensation, a path to better career progression, scheduling rules, and quality of life provisions. This week, the Frontier Pilot leadership elected Captain Bob Massey as the MEC chair to complete the term vacated in April and ending on March 31st, 2027. Quote, "As we continue our fight for a fair and equitable contract, it is more important than ever for all Frontier pilots to stand united. I am committed to working with our local representatives, committee chairs, and every Frontier pilot as we chart a path forward and achieve the contract that Frontier pilots have earned," said Captain Massey. Massey has been with Frontier Airlines since 2016 and is based in Cleveland, Ohio. He currently serves as the Merger Committee Chair. As announced in April, TSA is transitioning from known crew member to crew member access point by the end of 2026. CMAP is a replacement for the KCM program and aims to enhance security and streamline access for eligible U.S. crew members. TSA plans to launch CMAP in phases, which is expected to start on June 22, 2026 at IAD and DCA. CMAP locations are expected to be co-located with current KCM access points until the transition is complete. Check the show notes for more information. Captain Wendy Morse, ALPA First Vice President, joined other pilots and airline representatives in Mendoza, Argentina, to speak on a panel during this year's Aviation Safety, Flight Ops, and Training Summit. The expert panelists examined how climate change, increasing turbulence events, and extreme weather events are reshaping operational risk management across the aviation industry. Quote, "Turbulence remains one of aviation's most persistent operational hazards and a continuing source of in-flight injuries to passengers and crew members," said Morse. National Transportation Safety Board data shows that turbulence is the leading cause of accidents for U.S. airline operations, with over 20 serious injuries over the past 3 years. The panel discussed how turbulence avoidance remains the goal, but in some cases, avoidance is not always possible when clear air turbulence is encountered with little to no warning. While presenting, Morse noted that, quote, "Efforts to reduce turbulence-related injuries have long been a focus for ALPA. In fact, in 1981, the FAA approved a regulation requiring illuminated fasten seatbelt signs in passenger aircraft cabins following years of advocacy by ALPA. On May 27th, the FAA updated its Guide for Aviation Medical Examiners to include a protocol change for obstructive sleep apnea and new resources for mental health counseling, including guidance that helps standardize documentation requirements. A new obstructive sleep apnea treated status report simplifies and standardizes the certification and recertification process for pilots who are successfully treated for OSA with a positive airway device or dental appliance. Meanwhile, the update to Item 47 of the AME Guide now encourages pilots to seek counseling or therapy when medically appropriate. It also includes 2 new resources. This update is a significant advancement as it helps standardize documentation requirements for both AMEs and treating psychotherapists. ALPA is now looking for pilot volunteers to staff its booth at EAA AirVenture Oshkosh July 20th through 26th to promote the airline pilot profession to the next generation and reconnect with members and retirees. Morning and afternoon shifts are available, but these opportunities are only for ALPA members. Among ALPA's planned activities, booth presentation topics have been expanded to include two members-only Q&A sessions with ALPA President Jason Ambrosi and First Vice President Wendy Morse, as well as a joint presentation with Ambrosi and NACA President Nick Daniels on ATC safety and modernization. Coming soon, we will also provide an online reservation system for the 5 weeknight dinners that ALPA will provide for members, retirees, and their families. Be sure to register for the nights you will attend. Learn more and volunteer today in the show notes. That's all for this week's Fast Read podcast. Until next time, stay safe and have a nice flight.
This podcast is brought to you by the Airline Pilots Association. ALPA supports its pilots through a variety of resources, including Pilots for Pilots, our emergency relief fund, where pilot donations help provide grants to those who have suffered from a widespread natural disaster. To donate, apply for a grant, or learn more, visit alpa.org/P4P.